of The Rules of Wealth by Richard Templar. And in this video, we're going to be reviewing Rule 38, which says don't waste time. Don't waste time procrastinating. Make money decisions quickly. Rule 39 says work as if you didn't need the money. Rule 40 says spend less than you earn. 41 says don't borrow money unless you really have to. 42 says consider consolidating debt. All right. So Rule 38, don't waste time procrastinating. Make money decisions quickly. When it comes to making money decisions, so many people drag their feet until the opportunity goes. You don't have to waste time. If you are at sea and it cuts up rough, you make for a safe harbor, right? If rain is falling, nobody needs to tell you. You quickly look for a shade to hide your head if you don't have an umbrella. So when it comes to money, why is it that you drag your feet? You don't quickly make up your mind, do your findings, think about it very quickly. Treat it as urgent because it is not every opportunity that will forever be available. Right. Sometimes you just need to act as long as you get some return on your action. It is better than doing nothing. A lot of times we analyze and analyze until analysis leads to paralysis and you miss out on everything. You want to buy real estate, for example. Don't you think that the land is going to be appreciating or the value of the house will keep going up? You don't make up your mind 6 months later and expect to still find it at the same price when somebody who bought it early would have started enjoying some returns, right? You just have to act. The samurai lived by a simple creed. They said no hesitation, no doubt, no surprise, no fear. Anytime they get into a fight, they go pem, pem, pem. They would have prepared. It becomes violent, but everything happens so swiftly. Doing something is invariably better than doing nothing at all. Well, that's one of the reasons why so many people are still poor. Indecision. They just cannot make up their minds. They doubt, they waste time, they overanalyze and all of that. But people who are making it in life, they think about it very quickly. It doesn't mean that you're going to be careless or you're going to act blindly. It just means that any investigation you want to make, you do it quickly. Any decision you want to take, you do it quickly. Any questions you want to ask, you ask quickly. Consider the odds, the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages. And once you're sure, you move. Or if you are sure not to move, then you step back. It's better than dilly-dallying. Or maybe you buy something, you're into buying and selling. You buy something for $10 and you're supposed to sell it for $40. But you see somebody who is willing to pay $20 just within 30 minutes of buying it. What do? You sell it, then take the money and quickly go and buy more. It's better than keeping it in your shop, for 1 month. Right. So those are some of the decisions you need to make. Sometimes, quick gains are better than one big gain, but that will be too slow. Right. So that's Rule 38 for you. Rule 39 says work as if you didn't need the money. That means you should love what you do. You should be passionate about what you are doing. You are not being forced to do it. Stop showing desperation at your place of work, like, oh, if they sack you today, your life is finished. It makes you vulnerable and it gives people power over you. They will treat you anyhow because they know that no matter how they treat you, you cannot leave the job. Your life depends on it. Your existence depends on it. Right. Even if you need the money, try not to show it. Yes, it's the truth. Try not to show it. There is a way our brain works as human beings. It's a psychological thing. Somebody feels that you're desperate about something, then they begin to maltreat you. They begin to exercise so much power and control over you, and you won't have a choice. If people think that you need the money, it gives them power over you and it makes you insecure. Every time they will threaten you with a sack letter, you start begging. Right. So do what you love. Be passionate about it. We all know that most of us work for money, right? But it doesn't mean that you become so desperate about it. You show it to your boss, you show it to your colleagues, and you're shaking. Show some confidence. Show some security. For the author, Richard Templar, he writes, in fact, there was a time he had to resign from a job that he wasn't enjoying. he went into a business that he didn't like as well. The business failed. And then he started writing, he started doing what he loves to do. And right now he's making a lot of money from writing. And even if he doesn't get paid from it, he still likes it, he still enjoys it. That is the way you can live a fulfilling life. Not that you wake up in the morning, 4 a.m., you are off to work just because your life truly, truly depends on it. If you don't get that money, you cannot survive. What other thing can you do by the side that even if you don't get paid for, life continues, you're enjoying it? Money is very important, but everything is not all about money. Sometimes do what you love. Sometimes render free services, volunteer. Let people feel like, oh, he's doing it. He really doesn't need the money. They will even pay you more because you are not begging, you are not lobbying for it. You are offering value, and money is coming to you in return. Right. The passion and determination with which wealthy people work is what you should also emulate. You need to emulate it. Do like them to become like them. Work as if you didn't need the money. Aim for the point where you don't need anything unless your heart is in it. If you are desperately working right now because of the money, it is not a bad thing, right? It is not a bad thing at all. But you can continue to do that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It means that the money you're getting now is not being used judiciously, probably to start something by the side, to invest, so that you don't become financially miserable. You know that there are so many people who are working at a job, but they are financially miserable. If that job is taken away today, there is nothing they can do. Their life is going to be in shambles. So even though you're working right now, you really need the money, but have a plan in place so that you are not in that state for too long. Rule 40 says, spend less than you earn. I'm sure you've heard this so many times. It is the truth. You cannot spend exactly what you earn, and you cannot spend more than you earn. You can still spend below your income and enjoy your life. You just need to take control, take charge. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody. You don't have to always go for luxury. You don't have to, give in to immediate gratification, enjoyment all the time. If you really like a particular drink, you can't afford it every day or once in a week like some people do. You can enjoy it once in a month. You can go to your favorite place once in 2 weeks. But that you're going to spend all your money because you want to enjoy yourself, you want to reward yourself, and then you keep spending all, you don't have any savings, you don't have any investment. If your work has to give way today, nothing to fall back on. That's not a good life to live. Take control, take charge, know your expenditure, know your expenses, know how much is coming in and how much you can spend per time. You should always spend less than you earn so that you have something left to save. And you don't save after you have spent. You save before you spend. You must automate your savings so that as your salary is coming in or that income is coming in, it is deducted straight away. You don't have time to be overthinking it. That is how to help yourself. If you really want to live above financial struggles, that is the truth. A lot of people complain that they can't save because the money is not enough. So what do you do? What are you going to do? You keep saying you can't save, the money is too small, but you have to do something to get out of that cycle of it is not enough. You have to. It is sacrificial. It is something that is painful, but it is for a while, for your situation to be better. Rule 41 says don't borrow money unless you really, really have to. Excuse me. There are so many people who are quick to borrow just because the money is available. Somebody is willing to lend them. So they are always willing to borrow. But do you think that you're actually going to borrow without paying interest? That is what is killing a lot of people. It is the interest. And the borrower is always at the mercy of the lender. Every time you borrow, then you have to go and work to pay that person. You pay them with interest. They enjoy the interest. They will keep spending your money. So they will even offer you, do you need to borrow money? There are so many loan apps around now. They'll put it to your face. Come and borrow. If you borrow this is only what we pay back. But you're not reading the fine lines. There are so many things they're not telling you. If you don't repay early enough, they'll take over your possession. They will splash your pictures and your videos everywhere. Disgrace you, call you all sorts of names. right? You put yourself under pressure. So even if you have to borrow money, sit down, give it a good thought. Do you really, really need to? Or maybe you just need to take up an extra job to help you financially. Or maybe you need to speak to a few people to pull funds together. If you can avoid borrowing, avoid it. It is always not a good experience for so many people. It is very easy to borrow, of course, cool money. The urge is there, just bring it. They're even giving you different conditions. They're like, just bring it, just bring it, just bring it. But by the time you collect the money, you spend it, your eyes become clear. To pay back becomes a problem. You're under pressure, you lose your sleep, right? You may say, well, but I'm starting a business, I need to borrow money. Think about other means through which you can do your business. There's a case of a guy here who put money together with 3 of his friends. They put £500 together. They ran the business for 15 years. They were so disciplined. They were so disciplined. They didn't share with anybody. They faced the 15 good years. They put £500 together. That means 4 of them, £2,000. And 15 years later, they sold that business for £43 million. All right. There's also the case of a guy here who actually borrowed £8 million to start his business. No, sorry. He borrowed some money to start his business and he sold that business for £8 million. But most of the money he got, most of the £8 million went into the repayment of debt. And then he decided to start another one. But this time he became wise. He borrowed only £3 million, what was manageable for him. So think about it. Do you have a good repayment plan? Right. Think about it. Even if it is for business, can your business finance it? Can your business do well with this loan? And when it comes to repayment, will your business not suffer? The same business that you're trying to start. I hope you're not going to be overburdened by the loan. So think about the debt, good debt, bad debt. But think about it, even if it is a good debt for business, there are so many people who started out thinking, oh, it's a good debt, it's for business. And they are so excited at first. But then they got more than they could chew. The business did not do well as they thought and all of that. So sometimes you may even want to start small and scale. But then think about it. It depends on you. Some people have a broad chest for pressure. Financial pressure, they will work hard. That is what will motivate them. But if you know that you don't have that kind of chest, go for something that you can manage. But even if you must borrow, think about it very, very well. That's the bottom line of this chapter. It doesn't say don't borrow at all, even if it is for a good cause. It is just telling you that think about it again and again. Is it the best decision? And even if you must borrow, try not to borrow from some people, especially your friends, people that you know. These things can easily damage relationships. Yes, I'm talking from experience. Oh, he's my friend, she's my friend, my family member, my family member. If you want to destroy a relationship faster, let money be involved. I'm telling you the truth. Let money be involved. And then you see that, oh, it's a quick way to destroy relationships. Right. And if you are the one that had to borrow somebody money, make sure there is a written agreement. No assumptions, no sentiments. If you are not sure and if you cannot afford to lose that money, make sure that they sign. A lawyer is involved and things like that. Money matters should not be taken with levity. This is the last one, Rule 42. Consider consolidating debt. Maybe you are already in debt. So all these things that we're saying don't even apply to you. I mean, you're already wallowing in debt. You have borrowed so much here and there. Fine. What do? One thing to do is to come up with a plan to pay off your debt very quickly. Treat it as urgent. Deny yourself of some pleasure, make sacrifices so that you can clear your debt and be free. Just like the richest man in Babylon did in that book. He went to meet all his creditors. He negotiated with them. Some of them were angry. Some of them said, okay, no problem. We'll agree to your terms. And he was paying. He was working hard. He was paying. Even those that were angry at first, they eventually appreciated him that, oh, he's a man of integrity. He stayed committed. He was paying them little by little. Whatever he earned per time. He will share it among all his creditors. He took that very, very seriously. There's also an example of a guy here, a friend to the author. He went to meet all his creditors and he negotiated with them. If I pay you 50% of what I'm owing you, are you going to cancel the debt? Surprisingly, all of them agreed. So he approached the bank, took a low interest loan. He paid off all of that. So he consolidated all his debts. He took a loan to pay off all the small loans that he had collected, all the small money that he was owing. Maybe not too small, but all the money that he was owing in different places to different people. He paid it off. So now he consolidated everything. What he was now dealing with was the big loan he took from the bank. And luckily for him, it was at a low interest. So you may want to consolidate all your loans instead of having credit cards every now and then, instead of having small loans. You can do a calculation. How much is everything together? And then you start working towards a repayment plan. Maybe you approach a lending institution, a bank, or I don't know, right, or your organization, whatever. Take a chunk and then pay off all of this money and face this one, and pay it off and be disciplined. I think that a high level of discipline is required when it comes to money matters, and one of the ways to be disciplined is never to respond to any adverts from companies offering to consolidate your debt for you. Those ads are for people with more money than sense. At the end of the day, you will see that you are even going to be paying more in interest. At the end of the day, they are not even helping you. Or shop around for any payoff loans. Don't accept your bank's offer just because it is your bank. The interest may be higher. There may be a cheaper offer somewhere with regards to the interest. And don't secure anything against your home. If you are not able to pay, your home may be gone. You may become homeless. If you want to use anything for collateral, make sure that it is maybe like a machine or a tool, something that you can sell. And when you sell it, you can have some change from it to bounce back again. And only ever take out the loan to consolidate, and only do this once. Learn your lesson and move on. Don't be trapped. Don't be stuck. Don't become so used to collecting loan every now and then you get so used to it. If it is not so important, maybe you want to borrow it to start a business, to finance your business, so that you can even make more money, But borrowing to consume, borrowing to spend all the time, it can become a bad habit. There are some people that are caught up with loan sharks now. They have all kinds of loan apps on their phone. They say, get this, you only pay 1%. They go for it. They're not reading the fine lines. They don't even know that all these apps have access to their confidential data on their phones. Right. Yeah, that's it. I hope we have learned a lot and probably enough to help us in our financial journey. Buying on credit is a bit different. There are some people who started off their business, especially real estate people. They start off by negotiating. It is not everything, I believe. It is not every business that needs you to start off, by borrowing. No. And I'm telling you this. It is not every business. Sometimes you need to go to your suppliers, negotiate with them. Be open, negotiate with them. If you give me these goods, I can sell and bring back your money, So you sell, you take your own profit. Don't spend your profit. It is not yet a profit. You'll be keeping it. You deny yourself of some pleasure. You save up that money until you also have cash to be buying things. And so many suppliers will be willing to give you. Some will just require a small down payment. You give them, you hustle, you send it, you sell it, You go and pay back their money. They will be happy to give you more. You go. There is always a place where you deny yourself of some pleasure, where you have to sacrifice, especially at the beginning when you are just starting out. Don't start out big when you don't have enough money. Don't start out and be living in luxury. You are starting your business. The first profit you are getting, you want to buy a car. A car is a liability. Is it going to bring money for that business? Except it will generate revenue for your business. Be open. The fact that people are collecting loans to start business does not mean that you have to. I know so many real estate people who did not have a dime when they started. I am one of them. Right? you go and negotiate, you get some good deals, you know, there are ways to these things. Maybe we'll talk about some of these things later. Right. I don't think it should be in this review so that I don't take your time. But there are ways to these things. Just be open. Open up your mind. Explore different possibilities, different options. All right. Let's stop here for now. Don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me, and please subscribe to this channel in case you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. Right. Tomorrow, we're going to look at Rule 43, 44, 45, 46, and 47. Take good care, and until then, be intentional. Bye. You're welcome. You are welcome. Bye.